Hi there, I'm Alec. And real quick, if you missed my update video from a while ago, I moved. This is a brand new background. I'm still trying to figure things out. The wall behind me, I'm still getting stuff for it because unfortunately I don't have my bookshelf behind me anymore. So everything behind me, it's a work in progress. But don't worry, change is good. We'll get through it together. But moving on to the topic of the video, this is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. Today we're going to be covering a single episode from the family sitcom Life with Derek. If you aren't familiar with Life with Derek, it was a show that aired on Disney Channel here in the United States. The main character was a teenage girl named Casey, whose mom, little sister, and her move in with their new stepfamily after her mom gets married. So now she has a new stepdad, new stepbrothers, and a new little stepsister. And one of those stepbrothers is Derek, who is just the worst. Derek is your typical guy's guy. He's a slob, he's annoying, but god damn it if he's not in charge. He's got his little brother and his little sister, and also kind of his dad underneath his thumb. So when Casey and her family comes into the picture, of course Derek and Casey are gonna be bashing heads. And the show is just how Casey was able to deal with Derek in her everyday life. Hence, Life with Derek. This was one of those shows that was kind of just like filler on Disney Channel. You know, you were there for Hannah Montana's Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and That's So Raven, Wizards of Waverly Place. Could I go on? Yes, I could. But Disney Channel needed a little bit of something. So that's why Disney Channel looked to our friends up north, Canada, and they took Life with Derek and syndicated it for us here in the United States. There is a small part of me that wonders if Disney Channel syndicated the show, because around this time Degrassi came to the United States and was a huge hit. So Disney Channel was just like, yo, does Canada got good shows? Fucking check in on them. So that's why they got Naturally Sadie and Life with Derek. And weirdly enough, some characters from Naturally Sadie got Disney Wand IDs, but nobody from Life with Derek did. And I personally feel like Life with Derek had a bigger cultural impact than Naturally Sadie did down here in the States. So like, Disney, where's Casey and Derek's Wand IDs? I'm just saying, as the guy who ranked all the Wand IDs, the world needs it. But yeah, Life with Derek didn't really make that big of an impact with me. I don't remember a lot of the episodes or a lot of the other plot lines, except for one episode. And that episode was episode 11, Babe Raider.
She's all chest and legs. And chest.
And butt. Don't forget butt.
She's got some and she kicks some.
This episode I felt like they aired so many times for some reason. In my eyes, it might have been the episode that aired the most on Disney Channel. It was one of those episodes that got played when nothing else was able to fill a slot after like a movie got played on Disney Channel. Because say they have like 20 minutes they have left to fill time, they'll just throw on this episode of Life with Derek. Sir, we got a huge problem on our hands. This movie we're playing only lasts an hour and 40 minutes. Oh no, what are we gonna do? I've got it. Throw on the Babe Raider episode of Life with Derek. That episode is largely unproblematic, right? So anyway, in this episode, Casey sees Derek playing a video game called Babe Raider. It's a very obvious Tomb Raider knockoff, right down to the large polygonal titties. And when Casey sees this, she is taken aback that Derek would ever play such a game with such a bad take on what women look like. Casey, have you seen what most gamers think of women nowadays? It's not that hard to believe. Casey then decides to take this opportunity for it to be a learning lesson and does a school project on sexist video games. So yeah, I just vaguely remember this episode because even while I was watching it as a kid, I remember thinking, I'm surprised Disney Channel is playing this right now. I mean, goddamn. Look at those titties. Because to even vaguely show characters in scantily clad clothes and also to talk about nudity in any sense besides just showing a character losing their clothes and being covered with an object like they normally do in cartoons, that was way more than Disney Channel usually did. So what I want to do in this video is to rewatch that episode for the first time in many years, just to see if the episode wasn't as bad as previously thought, or if I agree with my younger self and would also be surprised that Disney Channel aired this episode in any capacity, even if it was in the mid-2000s, when you could get away with doing more stuff, like saying gee gosh darn and flashing a butt cheek every now and then. So let's check it out.
Oh yeah!
Come on, baby, shake that thing.
Can you please keep it down? I'm trying to work.
On a Saturday?
So Casey's doing some homework on a Saturday. fucking nerd. When she's interrupted by Edwin and Derek playing a video game. When she walks over to them and asks them what are they playing so loudly, they respond that they're playing a new game called Babe Raider. Casey comments that Babe Raider herself is wearing too tight of clothing, and Derek and Edwin reply with,
I know she should just take it off.
Oh, yeah. No!
wow. And the game is practically talking back to the boys.
Come on, boys. You know I'll get you. Why resist?
Oh my god. Also, look at Derek playing this video game so aggressively. I hate when movies and TV shows do that, where they have a character playing a video game and the character is tilting the thing all crazy, just like, oh my god, I'm so into this game. Like, it's not believable. Most video games I'm playing, I'm just like, I'm not like,
Sounds like somebody's jealous of somebody else's double D body armor.
Watch this.
wow. I don't even want to know what made them utter that noise, okay? So Casey yells at the two boys about how they're playing sexist video games and how it demeans women, and then she decides that that's what she's gonna do her media literacy paper on sexist video games and the dangers of them. So then she decides to do some more research for herself.
Ew, what are you playing?
I'm not playing. I'm researching sexist video games for my media studies project.
What are you playing? She's not. It's research. Cool.
No, it's not. You shouldn't have to see girls with breasts bigger than their head.
Hey, they exist. And they're people too. Man, they are not afraid to show us some examples from scenes from these video games. They got these video game characters doing jumps, doing cartwheels every which way in order to let us see some jiggle physics. Oh man, the new girls soccer game got jiggle physics. Fucking give me 10 copies.
Wouldn't she get a wedgie?
In real life, yeah, she would, Marty, but she's a fantasy girl drawn by some guy who thinks women should look fake and sound stupid.
Nuh-uh. She wasn't drawn. She was modeled in a program, okay? Get it right, Casey. Jesus, I thought you were smart. But while doing her research, Casey suddenly gets a call from Sam, Derek's best friend, who she has a big crush on.
Hey, Sam! No, I don't know where he is. I can't keep track of him. I can't even keep track of myself half the time.
That's Sam.
And here's Derek.
Hopefully, Casey and Sam will have something to talk about in this episode. Maybe a movie, a band they like, or maybe a video game? Uh-oh.
Have you seen our new mailman?
Yeah, she's a chick. The mailman's a chicken.
So later at dinner, Casey announces to the table she feels that the house has too much male energy, and she feels like there needs to be a little bit of change.
I've noticed the men in this house aren't very sensitive to women.
You've only been here 3 months. You'll learn to block it out.
So she shows them all a list of things around the house that the guys do that aren't very feminist of them. Things like not putting the toilet seat down, sitting on the girls when they don't get their way. Jesus, the dad doing that too? What, sit on the women in this house? I only do that to your mom when we're about to have alone time, when we watch her soap operas together. I'm very feminist. And Derek speaks up being all like,
We can't be feminists. We're guys. We're Gaius.
That's pretty cringe, Derek. Who would have known that Casey was living with a bunch of incels? Sorry, not incels. What I meant was your average Ben Shapiro supporter.
But that's the point. Feminism is for everyone. At least those who are evolved.
Well, I don't want to be evolved.
Don't worry, Edwin. There's no way we're gonna be following Casey's womanifesto.
So as Derek tries to object to their dad, George, Nora, the mom, flashes George a look like, you better shut the fuck up. And him following the very important rule of a happy wife makes a happy life, he agrees that they should start adopting some of Casey's rules. Which shouldn't really be rules. They should more be followed because you guys are decent human beings. Right? So then George takes Edwin and Derek aside and tells them that they need to start following these rules, much to Derek and Edwin's displeasure.
If you actually read these rules, you'll find that they're pretty reasonable.
Dad, it's just us guys here. You can put that away.
I mean, I think it would be good for you two to learn how to behave around women.
Trust me, Dad, chicks dig me.
Yeah, babes are all over me too.
Oh my god, Edwin, Derek got to you terribly. You're only 12, bro. I mean, I guess I only had a bigger sister growing up. I didn't really have a big brother role model in my life to look up to. So I guess this is probably pretty normal for Edwin to be all like, I mean, yeah, my big brother thinks women are objects, so therefore I think women are objects. George then says he'll give them whatever they want if they start following the rules. Edwin asks for something that really just puts a timestamp on when this episode was.
What do you want?
Thumb drive, 256 meg, USB 2.0 compatible.
Done.
256 megs? I have pictures on my computer that are bigger than that. You gotta be asking for better things. But Derek claims that he cannot be bought.
Derek?
I'm sorry, but I cannot be bought.
Then I'll go with the threat. You still planning to take driving lessons on your 16th birthday using my car?
Yeah.
Well, unless you keep an open mind about this, you can forget it.
Number 1, no playing Babe Raider in the house.
Does the garage count as the house?
Number 2, the garage counts as the house.
What the fuck? They just don't understand. It's game of the year. We don't play it for the graphics. We play it for the story. And I swear to you that the story is so good because it's stored in between Babe Raider's titties.
George then tells Derek that this is all just for show, that they're only doing this until the feminist wave is over. Oh my god. George,
Even you? I thought you were an ally.
like, oh my god, I know this is going to get better and that they're all going to learn a lesson at the end of this where we all need to respect women, but wow, the beginning of this episode is rough to look back at. Like, can't they just be like, I love women, I just hate you, Casey? But, I mean, in ways, for how on the nose it is pretty progressive.
There is no greater contribution to culture than the modern thong. But the thong must come off the wall.
Sorry. You did a pause there, so I was a little afraid. But okay, sounds good. Later on, Derek has his friend Sam over to the house, and he's complaining about these feminist rules that Casey's put in place in the house.
Thanks to Casey's feminist rampage, I'm not allowed to have degrading images of women on my wall.
But you're allowed stuff on your desk.
Well, that's classy enough for Casey.
Hey, how about we go play some Babe Raider?
No, Sam, not you too. I mean, I know you're only playing Babe Raider for just the story. I mean, look at you. You look like a type of guy that is a connoisseur of fine gaming. But you gotta understand, it's problematic. We lost a good one.
As Sam excuses himself to go get a snack, he bumps into Casey in the hallway, and they chat about Casey's new rules that are put in place.
Sam, in my manifesto?
Yeah, Derek was showing it to me.
Oh, I know, it's kind of silly.
Oh, why? You took a stand. I think that's pretty cool.
You do?
Yeah, well, I have 3 older sisters. I'm used to that kind of feminist stuff.
Wow, he really is Mr. Perfect, isn't he? I sure wish he's not like my favorite content creators, where new information comes out about him that makes me look at him in a different light.
Sam, if you so much as look at a woman wrong, you better pull out your ukulele because I'm expecting a goddamn 10-minute long apology video. All aboard the feminist agenda train.
So Derek and Edwin decide to level with Nora and talk about this feminist wave that's hitting the house.
Nora, we need to talk.
Wow, you sound just like your dad.
Well, unlike my dad, I'm no
Pussy! He doesn't actually say that. He says pushover. But I got you going, didn't I? You thought.
Because that's what I thought he was gonna say at first.
Nora tells them that they should be happy to help support the feminist cause. And one thing that they can do to help the cause is by cleaning up the kitchen and doing the dishes.
Oh my god, a woman asking a guy to get in the kitchen?
This is progressive.
Edwin, clean up this mess and do the dishes.
And you can't tell me what to do because you're not a woman.
Whoa! Okay, Edwin. Jesus. God. Casey then also chimes in and tells Derek and Edwin that they need to be better feminists, just like Derek's friend Sam.
Oh, Mr. Dreamy Sam.
I bet he wouldn't degrade women by hanging up tacky posters or playing a stupid game like Babe Raider.
Oh, really? Look who's the king of babes.
Sam?
Really no surprise. I mean, we're talking about a guy who spent a great deal of his life playing Babe Raider.
A great deal of his life playing Babe Raider? How old is this video game? I mean, for the time, it looks like a pretty relatively new game, maybe a year or two old, and this guy's like 16 or something. Maybe there were old versions of Babe Raider, you know? This is probably the PlayStation 2 remaster of Babe Raider. You know, Sam over here, he was probably playing the original version back on the NES.
Just look at how far graphics have come. In multiple ways.
So Derek reveals to Casey that his friend Sam is a huge fan of Babe Raider.
He's one of the best players in the world.
I mean, he's probably got the Babe Raider speedrun world record. I mean, 5 stars? You only get that when you're the best. And Casey just can't believe what she's saying. Obviously, Derek must have put Sam's name instead. Sam just would never do that.
Yeah, I'm back. Let's raise some babes.
Oh, you better get your ukulele, Buster. And you better start writing some lyrics for your apology video. All aboard the Babe Raider hype train. Because of this new revelation about Sam and Babe Raider, Casey turns to her therapist. I mean, her guidance counselor. Even though she's practically talking to him like a therapist. I mean, he's just a guidance counselor, Casey. But you are spilling practically all of your deepest, darkest secrets to him.
This guy that I thought I liked, who shall remain nameless, is totally into this sexist Babe Raider game, which I totally despise. So I should despise him too, right?
Right.
But I don't despise him. You want to know why? Because I am a total hypocrite who can't control her feelings. My heart says one thing, my head says another thing, and now I sound like a cheesy love song.
But her guidance counselor suggests that before she writes off Sam, Casey should maybe play Babe Raider herself and kind of get a feel for the game and see if it's actually as bad as she thinks. Which, you know, good idea. But maybe don't be so enthusiastic about it next time, buddy.
Are you lumping it in with all these other sexist video games? Or have you played it? Because the turbo level rocks! So I've heard.
Kind of a red flag. Also, the turbo level. These writers have never played video games in their lives, have they? At least say the bonus levels. So Casey enlists Edwin, or should I say kidnaps Edwin, to help her play Babe Raider. Because she can't figure out how to turn the system on.
I've been trying to turn it on for an hour. Please help me.
Ugh, women.
So as we learn the very cliche story of Babe Raider, she's accused of going up against her old mentor. Now she must travel into the dark world in order to take down the evil people that go against her. I don't fucking know.
You come up with a better storyline.
Edwin also tells Casey how to play the game.
The red button jumps. What does the green button do?
The green button switches targets, and the blue button does not only shoot, it fires torpedoes. Work with me.
Torpedoes? From where?
You've heard of raw power? Well, this is raw power.
Wow. She firing torpedoes from her titties? Ugh, this game. So unrealistic. Like what, did the creators of the game look at Babe Raider and say, damn, look at those cannons? Wait a minute. Write that down, write that down! So then as Casey starts to play the game, she actually starts getting really into it.
I can't believe this game. I can't believe this game!
Holy, how did you jump like that?
Easy, I just pushed that button and then I...
Yeah, but then how did you...
Black is for the hip check combo spin and the white is for the seductive strut. Work with me!
She gets so into the game that she plays it late into the night and wakes up way too late the next morning. Hey. We've all been there, sister. When I was playing Breath of the Wild for the first time, I played that game for 3 weeks straight. That was the only thing I did. And when I was finally getting ready to finish it all up, I stayed up until 4 a.m. playing it. So for Casey to experience this for herself, I think we can all look at her as a true gamer now. Hopefully she doesn't start belittling women herself now. So she wakes up late the next morning and she's left at home all alone by herself when suddenly Sam shows up. Uh-oh. 2 teenagers alone in a house together? That can only mean one thing. Nah, Casey just wants to play Babe Raider with him.
Got you right where I want you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Game over.
Sorry for totally destroying you like that.
Sorry for totally destroying you like that. What, were you guys playing co-op? Because it did not look like it. Come on, showrunners. I know you only have so many shots of a made-up video game. But if you're going to make us think that they're playing co-op, you're gonna have to make us believe. Have 2 Babe Raiders running around, one in a slightly different colored shirt. And then to really sell the point that they're playing together, you make the 2 Babe Raiders kiss.
Just when I think I've got you figured out.
I know. I'm confusing.
I know. I'm not like the other girls. But before Sam has the chance to play Casey Raider, Derek shows up, and Casey and Sam exchange a glance longingly at each other. Who knew the best thing to bring people together was a rated M video game? Well, I guess anybody who met in a Call of Duty lobby will tell you that. Hey, anybody in this lobby trying to be friends?
No, not
Yeah,
your friend. In fact,
Frank
your mom
player,
killed
you probably
herself.
got
Yeah,
speckled
daddy
ass motherfucker
hasn't lived with
face,
guilt for the
probably
rest of
out
his
of
life.
son all day,
Nice
you probably
to
have to
meet you.
remarry somebody
He's way less
Fucking
better than my mother,
shut up
and then he's going to kill himself with
Get
alcohol.
out of the lobby, bro. So later that night, Casey has a dream where she herself is Babe Raider, and she has to save Sam from a zombie. Also, damn, is Casey doing her own stunts? Because she's got kicks for days. And like one good punch, because they replay this one punch a bunch of times.
You're the king of babes.
More like the queen of babes.
So after saving Sam in her dream, Casey decides that the next morning, she's going to dress up like Babe Raider. Because now Babe Raider is a feminist icon in her eyes.
Well, you know, it certainly is a bold look, don't you think, honey?
Well, that's the point. What's wrong with exposing a stronger, more confident side?
So after being ogled by her family at breakfast, Casey tells everybody that she's wearing this outfit in order to be more confident with herself. Because what does it matter what a woman wears? As long as she feels confident and comfortable in her own skin, she should wear whatever she wants. But the boys don't think so, because this feminism stuff is hard for their little boy brains to handle. Boys, am I right? Okay, in all honesty, this is the first time I'm watching this episode in a long time. In my mind, the outfit was way worse. I thought I remember her wearing like just a bra or something and really tight like booty shorts, but she's wearing like cargo pants that cover all of her legs. She's not wearing a strapless top. I mean, the only thing that's really revealing is like her arms and a bit of her midriff. Like, I thought I remembered this outfit being way worse.
This isn't feminism. This is insanity.
Yeah.
So then Casey goes to school wearing the outfit, and in the background, you can just hear every single guy that's passing by catcalling her. They're sending such weird messages right now. Oh yeah, a girl should wear what she wants to wear, but also every single guy ever is going to catcall her. I mean, I guess that does happen. I mean, hey, Casey says it pretty well.
Aren't you just asking for stupid comments from guys? That's their problem, not mine.
So, that makes sense. As Casey passes by Derek and Sam in the hall, Sam is swooning over Casey. And he tells Derek how he and Casey played Babe Raider together, which really confuses Derek, because that's rule number 1 on Casey's rules of feminism. She can't break the rules that she herself put in place. What is she, a U.S. senator? Too political over here for me.
She plays, dude. She's good.
Casey plays Babe Raider. And she's good.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised too.
But that's it. The insanity stops now.
So Derek then confronts Casey, and Casey brushes it off, saying that this is empowering women, that Babe Raider is actually a good role model for girls, until Derek brings it all crashing down.
And for me, the most empowering moment of the game must be the topless level.
The topless level?
The topless level. When Babe Raider finally succeeds in defeating the alien Visigoths, she celebrates by taking off her top. Now, I've never been that far, but Sam has a bunch of times. I mean, they don't call him the king of babes for nothing, huh?
And this is one of the reasons why I remember this episode. Them talking about a topless level in Babe Raider? What? That's impossible. You're telling me that there's nudity in video games? Why hasn't anybody told me this? This broke little Alex's mind as a kid. And yes, that was a huge revelation. I mean, I only played Pokemon and the Sly Cooper games on repeat as a kid. I wasn't really running the risk of seeing anything too crazy.
I talked myself into something totally ridiculous because of a guy. Happens to the best of us, sister.
So this fact shocks Casey to her core, and she starts to become so confused. Does she love Babe Raider, or does she hate Babe Raider? Well, I don't know, but an IGN reviewer gave it a 7 out of 10, so I know what I think about it now. But even though she's confused, Casey still decides to do her media project on Babe Raider and actually incorporate that confusion into it. So she says that even though she likes the game, she still thinks it doesn't have a good view on women.
One look at Babe Raider says everything.
Jeez, that's what the box art looks like? Looks like it was made by the same artist that worked on the GameStop box arts. You're gonna find that on a GameStop shelf 99 cents pre-owned.
It creates impossible to live up to images of women and gives boys the idea that this misshapen heroine is what girls are supposed to look like.
So Casey presents her project to the class and also to her mom and little sister at home, and she gets a round of applause, and also Obama was there.
Then I brought out this petition to send to the game companies. It says, keep the games coming, keep the women powerful, but did the guys that design these chicks get real?
How'd that go over?
Signed by every girl in the class.
Well, let's see if the petition worked. It didn't. I'm kidding. Video games have gotten a lot better. But then when asked if any boys signed the petition, Casey admits that none of the guys signed it. But then Sam comes in and signs the petition. What an ally.
Talk, Valentina. Ally.
So that was the Babe Raider episode of Life with Derek. Was it as bad as I remember? No. It was actually way more progressive than I remember it being. But am I still surprised Disney aired it so many times? Yeah. There were some pretty suggestive things in this episode still, even though it was all wrapped together real nicely at the end. I mean, I'm just saying, some of those things Babe Raider was saying even got me hot under the collar right now. So good on you, Life with Derek. Even though your show had one of the most misogynistic representations of a guy on Disney Channel, you still had a really progressive episode back when this episode debuted in like 2005 or 2006, whenever the fuck it aired.
I don't feel like looking it up, okay? Editing Alec can do that.
Even though at the very end of the episode, it showed that Derek didn't really learn anything. But I mean, that's in character for Derek. He barely learns anything throughout the course of the show. In fact, he even starts coming on to Casey at the end of the show, right? Don't even think I was going to make a Life with Derek video without bringing up the weird relationship Casey and Derek have at the end of the show.
Derek, you are the most annoying brother.
Step brother.
Same difference.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, even the actors are laying into it. Step bro, I'm stuck. On this level of Babe Raider, can you help me? And that's gonna be it for the video, so thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to join the cause by signing the petition to get me to 10,000 subscribers. All you have to do is click the subscribe button down below. And hey, do you remember Life with Derek? Do you remember seeing this episode a bunch of times on Disney Channel? Or was there an episode of Life with Derek that you remembered fondly? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from y'all. If you want more of me, you can follow me on social media. I'm at Alec Combs on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And you can also listen to my podcast, Screenplay the Improvised Movie. You can listen and watch the video version on our YouTube channel, or you can listen to it as an audio podcast on any podcast streaming service that you use. And that's the end of the video, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'm gonna leave you with IGN's review of Babe Raider. Bye-bye. Even though Babe Raider is big in some places, there are also some places where it is really lacking. And although I greatly appreciated the fun, bouncy graphics, Babe Raider left me unsatisfied and begging on my knees for more. It's got a little something for everybody. It really makes you feel like Babe Raider. 7 out of 10, too much boob.